I never think that I have a favorite color. When people ask me that question, I always say, I don't have one. The other day, a friend of mine purchased a green Stratocaster from me. He started to send me pictures of all the other green guitars that he had in his collection. It was his favorite color. What was weird was I was able to match him guitar for guitar as having the same type of guitar in a green finish. He basically said, so, green's your favorite color as well. Well, when I started thinking about my collection in its entirety, I realized how many green guitars that I actually have. I cannot say that green is a color favorite, but I do seem to be pulled to guitars with green finishes. I think it's safe to say I really like guitars with green bodies. I was on the Stratosphere eBay store, and a Fender Player 2 modified Stratocaster body in Harvest Green Metallic caught my eye. It's true, they already have parts out, bodies and necks and different parts and stuff for the modified series of the Player 2 guitars. This is a new color that Fender released on the newly released line of Player 2 Modified. I think that it's really handsome. It is a dark green color with metallic flakes in the finish. If this was on a muscle car, it'd be a phenomenal looking car. I was really itching to build a Stratocaster with 2 Seymour Duncan P-rails. I already had this set of white P-rails. If I did not already, I would have ordered a set of the black P-rails to more match with the black pickguard that this guitar body was intended to have. I had already found a wiring diagram that will provide 5 tones and pickup combinations using a 5-way super switch. I know. A standard Stratocaster already uses a 5-way switch and provides 5 different tones and pickup combinations. But this will be different because it'll be incorporating coil splitting in positions 2 and 4, and the guitar only has 2 pickups instead of 3. Here's what you get. In position 1 of the switch, all the way back towards the bridge, you get the bridge P-rail by itself. In position 2, you get both of the P90s. Position 3, you get both P-rails in parallel. Position 4, you get both of the single coil rails. And position 5, you get the neck P-rail by itself. I mentioned a super switch before. If you've not heard of a super switch before, here's a good description. A super switch offers more poles. Standard switches have 2 poles. Think of each pole as a separate switch within the switch that can control a separate and standalone electronic circuit. A 2-pole switch can control 2 separate electronic circuits, and a 4-pole switch can control, 4 separate circuits. Super switches typically have 4 poles. Each pole acts as an independent switch that moves through its connections as you change the lever position. This gives you increased wiring possibilities. The extra 2 poles allow for much more complex and creative wiring configurations in your guitar. This enables guitarists to achieve a wider variety of pickup combinations and switching functions that just wouldn't be possible with a standard 2-pole switch. This would include things like coil splitting and tapping, series parallel wiring, phase switching, unusual pickup configurations like basically the neck and bridge in series versus parallel, and bypassing your tone and volume controls. The rest of the wiring circuit is 2 CTS 500K pots, a Switchcraft 1/4 inch output jack, and a .047 microfarad orange drop capacitor. To wrap up what I would need to complete the project, I already had a Fender Player 2 neck with a rosewood fretboard with Fender Classic Gear tuners installed. The pickguard I used for this project was unusual and needed to be custom made, which, oddly enough, can be ordered off of Amazon.com and is made in China and then shipped to the US. The routings on the black 3-ply pickguard are 2 humbucker pickup holes and 2 pots, 1 volume and 1 tone. It took a couple weeks before I received the pickguard after I ordered it. After the assembly of everything, I started to run through the different positions and pickup configurations, and here are my opinions. I'm going to talk about position 1 and position 5 both at the same time. So position 1 is with the switch all the way back towards the bridge, and this is the bridge P-rail in its entirety, so the entire pickup by itself. And position 5 is all the way forward towards the neck, and it's the neck P-rail by itself. The pickups are comparable to each other, with the bridge being somewhat louder and brighter, but you'd expect this in any neck and bridge pickup combination. The neck is close to overdriving though at any moment and is a little bit flat. Position 2, both the P90s. Here's what's really weird. Okay, so position 2, both P90s. This is where I have split the coils of the 2 pickups, and I'm only giving you the 2 P90s. Here's what's really weird, is I always associate the P90 pickups with being high output pickups. And P-rails, when you split and isolate the P90s in parallel, they're really quiet and subdued. They are very articulate in lows, mids, and highs, just really low output. Position 3 in the middle is both P-rails in parallel. In my opinion, this is the best position of all. It's the bridge and neck pickups in parallel, and it's a very usable position. Great lows, great highs. It's just a really, really good universal position. Position 4. Okay, so this is coil split, both pickups, but just the small single coil rails. And again, it's a surprise to me because this is it. Just the volume output is really packs a punch. If you want loud and clean sounding pickups out of this setup, this is your position. I always expect them to have less volume output. I think it's a size thing. When you look at the P90 part of the P-rail, it's about 70 to 80% of the entire pickup, where the rail section is relatively small. So later that night, after I was finished with the project and kind of playing around with the guitar with an amp, I was sitting in our breakfast area with my laptop, and I found myself again on the Stratosphere eBay store, and I saw that they had the wiring harnesses with all the pickups and everything, and the pickguard for the Fender Player 2 modified, but this was for the SSH, the single coil humbucker. So you get the 3 noiseless pickups, 2 single coils and a humbucker, and you also get coil splitting technology in the wiring harness. And together it was $240, which is a really, really good price. And I went and I ordered it. And I guess I had to think about it. And I was like, well, I guess I'm not finished with this guitar. Just something about the dual P-rail pickup setup, I don't think it really satisfied me with, and it wasn't exactly what I was hoping to end up with. In the end, I'll probably pull the loaded P-rail pickguard and sell it in my Reverb store. There's nothing wrong with this setup. It's actually pretty cool. It's just not what I was really looking for in this guitar. I want to try out the Player 2 SSH modified setup that's coming without the Floyd Rose trim, although it does come that way in other colors, but just not in the green. The loaded SSH pickguard, like I said, only cost me about $240, so it's not the most expensive way of trying out a $1,029 guitar. So I'm really looking forward to this. I will probably do a video on it and an update and let you kind of decide as to what you think sounds best.